What is up, YouTube? My Cowboys family here, bringing you guys the latest update on our very own Dallas Cowboys. And, of course, as always, thank you so much for joining us here tonight. Take a second to hit like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, follow us on all social media at My Cowboys Family, and, of course, hop in the Discord link for that's in the description box down below.
It's the final day of the MCF week. That's the big deal today, of course, right? Oh, wait, no, it's the final day of the NFL football 2023-24 season. And at least, even though, we wanted the Cowboys to get that 6, at least it ended, I guess you can say, on a happier note. We'll discuss it all tonight here as the Niner fans right now.
Dramatic ending, I'll give you that.
Very good, great game, really. A great game tonight. Great defensive battle for 3 quarters and a great ending in the fourth and overtime. The Niners took the L. Hell yeah. And I'll talk about that. I just want to start it off. Anybody watching, A-Bomb, the Niner Nation fans, whatever they are, gang, gang.
Bang, bang.
Now they're bang, bang. Yeah, so again, the thing is with them, they've been to the Super Bowl 3 times, a bunch of NFC Championship games, and guess what? They still got 5 on it, like we do. In fact, they haven't won a Super Bowl in 29 now. It's going to be 30 years. So F the I can't say what I wanted to say. F the Niners. Hey, listen, I'm not a big fan of the Chiefs, but hey, they won. Congrats, Mahomes got a dynasty, 3 and 4 years. Only the Patriots, the Cowboys, in the last 40 years have done that. I guess the Niners did it before that. Congrats to the Chiefs, Mahomes, Reed, and all them. We'll talk about that and more. And of course, our Cowboys making news even today. Dak, CeeDee getting paid, extensions, yeah. Question marks about the defensive coordinator. I mean, is Zimmer gonna be the coordinator? Rex Ryan thinks differently. We're gonna discuss it tonight. Yeah. With you guys here as we close out the week on My Cowboys Family. So as we open this up, we got to start off with those that make the world go round, that rep the boards here in MCF. So, baby, take a look at it. The sponsor of the week and the Cash App King, Stanley Smith.
Woo! Thank you so much, Stanley. Appreciate you, of course, representing on both sides of the board there.
The very important sponsor of the week. That is the number one spot of the board, and Cash App is right behind that. So, much love to Stanley on both those boards. And the other side, you have Jason Renfro. He's got the Cash App, not the Cash App. He's got the gifting membership crown, the champ there, with only one last week. We'll see what happens this week. He was the stream boss for most of the week. JD from DC took it over, 94 points for him as a stream boss, but he's also the current leader on the gifting membership board. He's trying to take that crown back and make it 3 out of 4 for him in the last 4 weeks. Like the Chiefs are doing, right? So much love to JD from DC, repping that star in enemy territory. He's also coming for that sponsor of the week. He is in the lead right now on the overall board for that crown. For the overall best top crown, the sponsor of the week is right there in JD from DC's line of vision right now. And the king of the Cash App, Stanley Smith, may have to give the crown up to the leader currently, McLovin, who, by the way, dropped a $10 PayPal yesterday. Much love to McLovin for some shots in the After Dark session. And, of course, pre-stream, we had Dwayne Broussard drop a $4 Dak drop, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, we did.
Kicking it off. What did he say, baby?
Go Cowboys.
Go Cowboys. Appreciate you, Dwayne Broussard, the top dog, star-level member, and McLovin with the pre-stream drop into PayPal overnight. Again, he's currently...
fan with his pre-stream membership message as well.
Oh, yeah, he's got that as well. McLovin, by the way, is in the lead for that Cash App Kingdom. He might rep that tomorrow. He's not even a Cowboy fan. He's in the lead right now. He's an MCF fan. Now, again, what was the membership message from Mr. Skeptical Fan, if I may ask?
Well, first of all, Dwayne Broussard said go Cowboys.
Hell yeah.
Skeptical Fan said, I'm glad the 49ers lost. But also, what the fuck was wrong with Kelsey? He was pushing his coach. It's not a good look for Taylor Swift.
Definitely not. That's something you got,
the heat of the emotion, heat of the battle. Emotions there, right? And speaking of high emotions, Alonda Hanslu, thank you so much, coming through with a $5 holiday to kick things off on the official side of things, right?
Hell yeah. Much love, Alonda.
And she said, at this point, my Cowboys family might as well switch over to being Kansas City Chiefs fans because y'all have a love affair with Patrick Mahomes each year. I'm sure that was an autocorrect. Patrick Mahomes, right?
There's no love for him in that way. He's a great player.
My enemy is my friend. That's all.
Yeah, I just don't want the Niners to win. That's what mattered. That's what happened. At least, it's as best we could ask for.
We have our priorities straight.
Yeah, that's all we're going to ask for when it comes to that, Alonda. So, yeah, I'm glad that he lost. Hell yeah. I'm not up and down screaming up and saying I'm a Kansas City fan, but the Niners had to lose. So they didn't get that 6 before us in the NFC. Now it starts over again. 32nd team or the second team. The power rankings are set. The Chiefs are number 1. They win. Yeah. They win. And that's what matters in the end. It's tough. It's a tough situation.
And speaking of, all the representation we were shouting out there, we have, of course, the gifted membership king, Jason Renfro. Thank you so much. Appreciate you, Jason.
Yes. I already shouted it out. I already shouted all that out already.
You sure? Including JD from DC?
Did it all. Got it all, baby. I know you were in the chat. So, yes, I got all the shout-outs done and managed. So, appreciate everybody on those sides of things and the drops.
Well, let me take another second then to shout out the man JD from DC.
Hell yeah.
Because he just dropped a $2 holler and said JD da Don.
Hell yeah.
The Don in the house. Thank you, JD.
Has
appreciate you. Much
control
love.
of that board, right?
Yeah, you re-upped your stream boss there by 2 points.
Yeah, yep. He's moving on up on that board as well, trying to solidify that.
Yeah, continue to solidify his lead, if I'm not mistaken.
I mean, he's got the lead right now in the overall. He's got the lead on the gifting board. He's got a chance to take half the board now. And he's, of course, got the stream boss currently.
Yeah, and
moving
you
up
guys
that
are
board
seeing
as well.
some of the different ways you can show the love and drop the love here at MCF,
Yeah, you got the
right?
super chats.
Yeah.
Thanks button. You can jump in the membership.
Gift memberships.
Gifting memberships. But there's other ways you can be involved in the Cash App side of things. Baby, run it down.
Like the Cash App, of course, money sign MyCowboysFamily. You have the Venmo at my-cowboys-family. The regular PayPal link, of course. And last, but certainly not least, that Streamlabs link. It lets your comment show up on screen just like a super chat.
Yep, we shout you guys out when we see you in there and, put you on the rifle boards as needed. So, again, I appreciate everybody on that side. Of course, the nightly shout-outs. Never forget that. We got all our membership levels, Navy, Blue, Silver level, too. But, of course, the Star level and the Over Everything levels, they get the nightly shout-out. So, baby, do the honors.
Thank you very much to Skeptical Fan, Jason Renfro, Lincoln Kane, Andy Potched, Mary Alvarez, Marissa Sparkle, Dwayne Broussard, and The Lunatic.
The Lunatic in the house. Appreciate everybody once again. And, baby, why don't we shout out the people in the house tonight, ready to discuss some Super Bowl recap information and news, but also our Cowboy updates and info. Who's in the house? Let's shout out.
Mikey High Night in the house. Hey, I'm sure he's doing that at some point.
I'm waiting for A-Bomb to come by.
So, Dustin Roberts, what's up? Much love to you. Of course, Alonda Hosley representing. Chris Davis, hello and hi. Joe Diskin. We got Brandon J in the house. Dave Brown, what's up? Mike Aldana, much love to you. JD from DC, repping it. Dwayne Broussard, the top dog himself. Hell yeah, bang bang, loser king.
Bang bang.
Red Man R, what's up? Yeah, again, close but no cigar. Close only counts in horseshoes, right? Darren's the CEO. Davis in the house. Drewski's chair, what's up?
Hey, he's making an appearance.
We have Drums and Cowboys, what's up? Hello and hi.
Can't say Drewski's name 3 times though.
House Nelson in the house. Let me see who else is here. Chris Davis representing 808 Cowboys 77. Bruce got the Toxic Juice coming through. Daniel Berry Sports, what's up? Xavier Hidalgo, thanks for being here. We have Asmodeus. Shout out to you, of course. Fuego bringing the heat. Chris Plumage, much love. Skeptical Fan, always staying skeptical.
Always.
Frame Rippers, much love. And yeah, one thing I will say, the difference between some franchises and the current franchises today in the Super Bowl, I mean, talk about some knockdown, drag down defenses, right? So just really feels like it kind of backs up a lot of what we've been saying as far as like where the focus should be this offseason.
Yeah,
but
and remember, I want to remind everybody, the Niners are the second best defense overall this year, and the Chiefs are the third best defense. Defense is what makes the difference. And we had something brewing with Dan Quinn, and, it was better than Mike Nolan, but it wasn't enough. Now let's hope that Zimmer can do it. We'll talk about Zimmer at the end of this thing.
He said, you don't win silver, you lose gold.
Exactly. In the NFL, there's just one spot that matters, and that's first place. The Niners are on the couch with us. The Chiefs are at the top, and that's all that matters. In the end, of course, you do well. Of course, there's that chance you could do well, but next year you got another chance. But man, what a heartbreaking road! I've never experienced a loss in the Super Bowl in the sense of like as a fan, so I'm happy about that. I don't even know what it feels like, but you know who has? I've witnessed and experienced 3 Super Bowl wins, no losses. But all the Niner fans, that know football around those days, they probably, the last one they've had was a year before us, right? We've been out for 28 plus. They've been out for 29 plus. And they've had 3 chances. They've lost 3 straight Super Bowl appearances. So fuck the Niners. Now I can say we're past that part of the stream. We don't have to curse anymore.
Fuck the Niners. What's up? Much love. Jason Renfro in the house. Shout out to you as well. So let me go ahead and shut up so we can start touching on a few of these things here. But before I do, let me remind everybody to hit like, subscribe, hit the bell, all that, good stuff that YouTube, tells us is supposed to be good to say in the beginning of the video.
Yeah, guys, hey, we're over 31,000 subscribers. Keep it growing. Let's keep it going, guys. A lot of family members here in the house. Appreciate every single one of you guys. Now, a lot of those little clips you guys are talking about that happen in the game, try to put it up there. I try to get the more difficult things to find as far as clips, but also the big plays, even if it's other teams, sometimes some highlights. So you guys join us for that as well. Some people join for that and subscribe to that. Either way, appreciate you all. It's about football here, but number one is that star over everything. So Super Bowl 58, the get-in price. Earlier today, the cheapest seat basically is the get-in price. It was nearly $9,000 all in, everything said and done.
Oh, wow, that's so cheap.
Yeah, that was the most expensive, cheapest ticket in the history of football, of the NFL. And then you look at 90 minutes before game time, hour and a half, right, before kickoff, the cheapest get-in, cheapest seats in Section 418, which is by far the nosebleed, it was just a hair under, almost 10,000, basically a hair under 10,000, all in, and you put all the charges and everything. It's very unprecedented to have, the cheapest seat be $10,000, all right, for anything. But so there you go. This is this Super Bowl seat showcasing the NFL appetite in Las Vegas is huge for this stage. So hey, a lot of people buying tickets for $9,000 and $10,000 nosebleed for the Super Bowl. I remember my brother went to the Cardinals Steelers Super Bowl in Tampa, and I think there were like 4 Gs, and he was like 50-yard line. He's a doctor out there in St. Louis, so he can afford it. But
still, that was how many years ago?
Like about 16, 15 years, yeah. So, you're looking at about 16 years ago. You're looking at $4 grand at halftime, at half line, the mid, the 50-yard line, half point of the field, halfway of the field, but midfield, and in the lower bowl, 4 Gs. That's not bad now. Now it's 9 Gs to sit in the nosebleed seats. Also, a little fun fact here about the Super Bowl game: umpire on the field there, referee Terry Killens, will make history made history in this game. He becomes the first person to play in a Super Bowl. He was with the Tennessee Titans at Super Bowl, whatever that was at the turn of the century there, and also officiate a Super Bowl. So he's the first guy who's actually played in a Super Bowl and officiated a Super Bowl ever. Congrats to Terry Killens for that. And, hey, the Cowboys are represented at the Super Bowl today, even though it was not on the field, which is what we neid to have. But we had, Post Maloney on there. Post Malone was
he was representing
wearing what's that hat that Danucci has, the Dallas backwards on the hat. He had the old school kind of starter kind of Cowboys jacket. You guys know Jimmy Johnson was sporting that back in the coaching days for the Cowboys. And he had his Bud Light, and he was just chilling, hanging. and it looked like everybody
having a good time.
It looked like everybody holding Bud Light is obviously sponsoring CBS. It looked like it was an advertisement every time.
Definitely sponsored this.
Definitely an advertisement. But everybody was having fun. A lot of stars at the game, and we know that's always the way it goes. What are the actual Taylor Swift was there? Yeah, I know. Whatever. Who cares? Either way, Chiefs ended up winning this game, guys, and I'm telling you, I'm so happy the Niners lost in the sense that they're not getting that 6. Fuck the Niners. We have 5 on it. We know they got 5 on it. It's been a battle. They've had 3 chances. We've had none in the last 28 years. They've had 3 chances in the last 28 years, and we still even right now at Super Bowl victories. NFC, the kings of the NFC are still tied. Cowboys and Niners, 5 apiece. So the Chiefs won this game. Of course, 6 months ago, Mahomes was reluctant to call the Chiefs a dynasty because they hadn't won 3 Super Bowls, in the same, like 3 back-to-back-to-back kind of years. He doesn't have to worry about that anymore because now he's got 2 in a row plus a third one 4 years ago. That's 3 in 4 years, and he's been to the Super Bowl 4 out of 5 years. Mahomes found McCole Hardman in the end zone for the game-winning touchdown in overtime to help the Kansas City Chiefs defeat the San Francisco 49ers, 25-22 in Super Bowl 58 at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas. It was the Chiefs' second straight Super Bowl title and third championship victory in the last 5 seasons. They're the first team to win back-to-back Lombardi trophies since the New England Patriots 2003, 2004, and then before that, it was the Broncos, like 97, 98, and then it was the Cowboys, of course, in 93, 92, 93. So, Harrison Butker, Chiefs kicker, set a new Super Bowl record with a 57-yard field goal. But earlier in the game, the Niners rookie kicker Jake Moody had kicked the 55-yarder, which was the record. So there's 2 records broken on the legs of the kickers this year in the Super Bowl. Jake Moody hit the first record breaker to open the game and make it 3-0. Harrison Butker later on hit a 57-yarder to claim that record right now in 58 Super Bowls. He hit a 57-yarder. Super Bowl, again, supposedly the most secure event in the world, and two shirtless men managed to get on the field, streak out there. Not streak, they were like shirtless. But they were drunk, running around. You get the video. We got the video up there in the shorts if you want to check it out. They managed to sneak on the field and run around during the middle of a play. They have to stop the play and go away from that for a couple of minutes. Just wanted to bring that up. As we pause for a second, because the man is in the house. JD from DC now with that is that a $2 house?
Yes, it is, because we were having a bit
93 points, by the way, on the stream boss. Almost fully loaded.
Discussion about all the former Cowboy players that almost got some hardware tonight, right?
Oh,
JD from DC with his $2 hardware saying Boss Man Fat plays for the Chiefs, too.
Well, he got his ring, I guess, tonight, right? Congrats to Boss Man Fat.
Of course, on the Niners side, Randy Gregory is the one that probably sticks out the most. Is Javarius Ward still with the Chiefs?
Yeah, he's with the Niners.
Or he's with the Niners.
Yeah, so the Niners got Ward. Oof. They had a couple, Randy Gregory, and then, of course, we know someone with the Chiefs. A couple Cowboys already won with the Chiefs. Like Javarius Ward won already with the Chiefs, so or 2 with the. I don't know. He's won a couple with them already. So hey,
1 for sure.
Yeah, no, at least more than 1, I think. And now made it again. I think he's been in more playoff games than the Dallas Cowboys.
Do they have any other? Off the top of my head, I don't know if the Chiefs have any former Cowboy players actively on their roster.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It doesn't matter anymore.
But we know the Niners definitely did.
Yeah. So, but I don't even care about that as much as not letting the Niners win. I don't care if the whole Cowboy team was on the Chiefs formerly. Let them all win a Super Bowl. I don't want the Niners winning it. Calvin Richard zooming on in here with that 5 on it.
Woo.
A $5 holler by the man Calvin Richard. What did he hit to say, baby?
I'm afraid the Niners will be back before the Cowboys.
Maybe so.
At this current rate, obviously they have been able to knock on that door more than we have. Realistically speaking, though, you can knock as many times as you want, but if nobody opens,
listen. Just the fact that we have a chance to still get that 6 before them it's crazy in a way. I'm happy about that.
It is still frustrating that they have been able to compete in a more serious way.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Than we have in the last 10 years, even more so. If you want to go back,
I'm gonna kind of be honest here for a second, though. I know people are gonna maybe hate me for this, but if I knew my team in 29 years was not going to win a Super Bowl, but get to the Super Bowl 3 times and lose, I'd rather not get to the Super Bowl. I'm just being honest. I don't want to be a big Super Bowl fucking loser. I know that is something that, we get to the NFC Championship, which is big. So, we get there, it's a bit big for us at this point. But getting to the Super Bowl and losing, it's like, unless it's a surprise year for us and we sneak in, then that's different. But if we're expected to do it and we have the feeling we're going to be able to do this, look, can't lose. I'd rather not make it than lose the Super Bowl. I'm being honest. That's just my viewpoint. I don't know. So anyways, Mahomes, by the way, much love to Calvin Richard, knocking JD from DC down to 88 points. CeeDee Lamb, though. Mahomes was named Super Bowl MVP, if you guys didn't check out the end of it, for a 3rd time in his 4 Super Bowls he's been with, and the 3 they won. Of course, he's been the MVP all 3 times. He engineered an 11-play drive that resulted in a clutch 29-yard field goal by Harrison Butker with 3 seconds left in the game to force overtime. It was a barn-burning, chilling, thrilling game. The Niners offense had the ball first in overtime, but could not score a touchdown, settling for a 27-yard field goal and a 3-point lead, 22 points, of course, put the ball back in Mahomes' hands. KC struggled offensively for most of the Super Bowl for at least 3 quarters. They were down halftime 10-3. Mahomes led, the Mahomes-led Kansas City Chiefs trailed by double-digit points in all 4 of Patrick Mahomes' Super Bowl appearances. They trailed, all right, by double digits in all 4 of the Super Bowls he's been in. All right, that's crazy. But 28 years old now, 3-1 in the Super Bowl, lifted his first Lombardi Trophy with a 31-20 victory over the Niners 4 years ago. And I said that'd be a repeat. Super Bowl 54, it was a repeat because they played each other again, and the Chiefs won again. That's what mattered there. They were trailing by 10 in the 4th quarter, came back and won by 11. They scored 21 straight points in the 4th. Mahomes completed 34 of 46 pass attempts tonight, 333 yards, 2 touchdowns against he did throw 1 interception against the Niners, but beat them again. He also led his team with 66 rushing yards, Mahomes. I think Isaiah Pacheco was the running back that had the most rushing yards. But Mahomes outran the entire Kansas City Chiefs, leaders, I would say. Travis Kelce also
quite an exciting game in that.
Yeah, and they changed it up. That's why Reed is great. He adapted, he changed, he adjusted, and you didn't see Mahomes run a lot this year on actual design plays. But Reed moved a lot of design plays in the second half to have Mahomes run, and Joey Bosa didn't see him. They were losing their the Niners looked raggedy out there a little bit in the second half because of the alterations and adjustments by the offensive coaches. Not by Mahomes, by the coaches. So, again, Mahomes, great game, 33 of 46, 333, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, led the team in rushing, led the Chiefs in rushing 66 yards, and Travis Kelce, his favorite target, caught 9 catches for 93 yards for old Travis Kelce there. We got ourselves a drop here by the man, Calvin. We actually 2 drops.
Yes, we do.
Back to back in here. Jason Renfro with a $2 holler, and Calvin Richard with a $2 holler. What are the 2 ballers here, I have to say, baby?
Jason Renfro said, I'm glad the Chiefs won, but go Cowboys.
Hell yeah, always. I'm glad they won, too.
Always.
But go Cowboys.
And Calvin Richard said, if you get there, at least you have a chance.
I know, but if I knew we were going to lose, I'd rather
like
not.
Like we said, is it better
Yeah.
to have a chance and lose, or is it better to never have had a chance at all? You decide.
I think it's more painful to lose the Super Bowl. That seems to be the most painful of all, but I mean, I guess you lose a playoff game, it's painful too. Just get there, though. You just are like today. If I'm the Niners, that's why you don't see A-Bomb in here. Any Niner fan, they're crying right now. It's a painful one. I don't want to go through that. I don't want to go through that kind of loss like this, especially in the Super Bowl, in the big game, and you had it on your fingertips. You had it, man. That's painful. Much love there. Jason Renfro agree. We're not Chiefs fans, but we wanted the Chiefs to win. We hear about that. We wanted the Niners to lose, whatever that means. That means the Chiefs have to win, so be it. So I got you, though, Calvin Rich. I got you, Jason Renfro, and go fucking Cowboys. You know how it goes. So, again, McCole Hardman played the hero for the Chiefs in Vegas after starting the season with the New York Jets. Chiefs, which struggled offensively with wide receiver drops for most of this season, they picked them up, guys, for an October trade. So again, these October trades, they make differences not just in the regular season, but sometimes they come through in big games like this one here. So Hardman, came here from an October trade. It was a reunion. Remember, he started off with Kansas City, and he helped the team win its first 2 Super Bowls of the Mahomes and Andy Reid era. Now he's back, and they won again. Andy Reid is one of only 5 head coaches with at least 3 Super Bowl rings. Only Bill Belichick, who has 6, and Chuck Noll, who has 4, have won more. Hold on. We got the man, JD from DC, saying, let me up the board a little bit more.
Woo.
With a $10 holler right there. Much love to JD from DC, who currently is in first place on this overall board, and we will crown a champion tonight. It sounds like it's going to be someone closely named to JD from DC with a 10. What did he have to say, baby?
If you're not first, you're last.
It's basic. I mean, I know they got bigger hype for the next year. We're one of the best teams in the league. It's not like being the last team, but you got to start all over again. It's the grind. It's the grind once again.
Before that, actually, Alonda Hanslow had dropped a $2 holler, which I think might have been blocked out by JD from DC's drop. And she said, will it become a problem if Kansas City wins a 5th Super Bowl?
I mean, it won't be as bad as the Niners, but I don't want to see them getting that 5. If it's the Niners and Chiefs again, and it's the Chiefs getting 5 or the Niners getting 6, the Chiefs can have 5. All right? If it's the Niners or Chiefs and they're both going for 6, the Chiefs can get 6 before the Niners. Fuck the Niners. But I also don't want to see the fucking Chiefs in the Super Bowl. I don't want to see them in the Super Bowl. I want to see them as little in the Super Bowl as possible for the Chiefs. Unless we need them to beat the Niners or the Eagles or something like that, then that's fine. We should do that job in the NFC, be honest with you.
I agree.
I hear you guys, Alonda. Much love at the comment. That's true. JD from DC always in the place to be. Up to 84 points on the stream boss currently.
That's right.
Yeah, so any other quick little thoughts in the chat?
No, what's up, Juan Carlos? We have Raul, Cleveland Brown, Frame Rippers, number 2 with fries. Sorry, I'm cracking up at that name. Skeptical fan said, I don't see the Cowboys making it to a Super Bowl anytime soon. Jerry doesn't do what it takes for this team to win. He has too much ego and stubbornness.
Well, they say, we're going all in this year. Let's see what they say. I doubt they're going all in.
We don't have the mindset to win. These players are all business. We don't have the mental fortitude to stop crying, yet alone win a game with that much pressure. Joe Diskin said it. Mahomes tied Aikman with 3, and now it's on us.
And I've been saying that. I've been saying the fact that the Cowboys, with the front office tying the hands of the coaches and the players, is the main foundational. We've been saying this for years. Foundational. It's easy to just say it's the player dropped the pass or made the wrong play or the coach coached wrong. But the foundational situation where the coach is not getting the full array of players they could afford to get for the head coach, for the offensive coordinator, play caller, for the defensive play caller and coordinator, for the players on the field. They do a good job getting some guys, but they get a lot of these guys through draft and through development. You need them all at the same time. So you need the free agency move, and that's all in. And we discussed that earlier, how you can easily get $70 million, $60 million under the cap if the Cowboys truly wanted to and do an all-in season. It's up to them to do it, though. I don't know. I don't see this front office going all in the way that term is supposed to be designed to be said. They're going all in by we're going to get an extra free agent this year. It's like $4 million a year. That's the all in for the Joneses. So we got to see it before any of us here at the family believe it, right?
I agree. So, and the final thing I'll say here before passing on, because Redmond actually disagrees. He's saying that now that the Chiefs are only one championship behind the Cowboys, I don't want them back in the Super Bowl, because then they'll tie us if they win again.
Exactly. You got the Giants with 4, the Packers with 4. Now you have the Chiefs with 4. So we don't want to see any of these teams go in there to the Super Bowl. I'm talking about the Niners, the Steelers with 6, the Patriots with 6, the Chiefs with 4, the Giants, hell no, with 4, the Packers, hell no, with 4. So there's a lot of teams we got to root against. How about we just do it ourselves and get 6? Let's just quiet the fucking hate. How about that? That's the best way to do it. Anyways.
That's probably the best way to do it, I agree.
Yeah, the Chiefs are doing it when it comes to creating a little dynasty here, and they have it now, guys. Defense in the end dominates Super Bowls, and they dominated this Super Bowl early on. The Chiefs forced a Christian McCaffrey fumble on the opening drive, but they were going to score points. It was 0-0 in the second quarter, guys, still. That's when rookie Jake Moody hit that 55-yard field goal, which set a Super Bowl record until basically minutes later, a couple minutes on the clock later, Harrison Butker hit a 57-yarder, like I said earlier, in the third quarter, which broke the new record. And then San Francisco then forced a fumble of their own in the second quarter, knocking the ball out of Isaiah Pacheco's hands. They were driving to score a touchdown in the red zone, and again ended a very promising Kansas City drive. So both teams lost points because of fumbles in the first half. The Niners extended their second quarter lead because of a perfectly executed trick play that featured wide receiver Jawan Jennings, number 15. He threw a 20. He got the ball like on a reverse, then threw it back to the other side of the field to Christian McCaffrey, and he caught it, ran it off the screen basically for a touchdown. 21-yard touchdown pass from Jawan Jennings to McCaffrey. Jennings became only the second wide receiver ever in NFL history to throw a touchdown in the Super Bowl and also catch a touchdown in the Super Bowl. I'm sorry, no, let me rephrase that. Became the second wide receiver to ever throw a touchdown in the Super Bowl ever. And I remember the first one, which was former Pittsburgh Steelers wideout Antoine Randall L. in Super Bowl. What was that? Was it 50? Was it 45? 50? I don't know. It was about what, 15 years ago, 20 years ago or so. So again, I think it was Super Bowl 40. I don't know. I think that's when they had that trick play there and Randall L. threw the touchdown. But the other thing I wanted to say, because later on he caught a touchdown to take the lead in this game, the Niners, and then they missed the extra point. But Jawan Jennings scored a touchdown. I just want to say something first though, about this trick play. Jawan Jennings and Christian McCaffrey on that 21-yard touchdown play, the receiver, number 15, Jennings threw the touchdown to McCaffrey across the other side of the field and took it into the end zone. McCaffrey had only a 58.4% chance of scoring a touchdown when he caught that ball, according to Next Gen Stats, with the expected yards after catch model. That is the second most probable touchdown reception caught behind the line of scrimmage and outside of the 25-yard line this season. So even though it was a tough play to make, it was higher than any other play that you caught behind the line of scrimmage for a touchdown, as far as the probability to score. So they were on the right track when it came to the Niners in the beginning of this game. The Niners defense continued to have the Chiefs' number even after halftime, guys, with rookie Jair Brown intercepting Mahomes early in the third quarter. Mahomes, he had 217 playoff passes without an interception before that play. Yeah, that's how long it's been.
That's one hell of a streak.
Yeah. But Kansas City then capitalized after some back and forth, some stops. Defenses both came up big, especially for the Chiefs. And then special teams came up huge. Kansas City punted the ball, and then San Francisco muffed the punt, basically hit off another Niners leg. It was a live ball. The returner tried to pick it up. He couldn't get it. The Chiefs recovered it. And again, the next players too, I think the next play, Mahomes found a wide open MVS, Marquez Valdez-Scantling in the end zone for a touchdown to give Kansas City the first lead for them of the night. So now you're thinking, okay, this thing's over, right? Well, listen, I'll say this. The Niners, they drove down the field again with Brock Purdy, and that's when I said Juwan Jennings scored a touchdown catch in this game, a 10-yard touchdown catch early in the fourth quarter to regain the lead. Remember, guys, this play by Juwan Jennings, he joins former Eagles quarterback Nick Foles as the only players to ever record a passing touchdown and a receiving touchdown in a Super Bowl. So pretty amazing stuff today on that side of things.
That is one hell of a stat, I'll admit.
Despite leading for most of this game, like they did in that last Super Bowl 54 when they lost to the Chiefs, the Niners were not able to hold on. They were leading most of the game. Their last Super Bowl title now still dates back to 1994. I'm sorry, I had to say that because I love to see San Francisco tears. Hell yeah. I see him right there, Deebo Samuel. I see Purdy. I see the fans. They're crying. And I ain't lying. I like it. So Eagle tears last year, Niner tears this year. Fuck Philly and fuck the 40 So I love to see that. They've gone 0-3 in the Super Bowl since 94. I fucking love it. At least that's a good way to end this. I don't like the way the season went for the Cowboys, but this is the best way it could have ended, I guess you can say, in the sense of, not letting a team cut closer to us in the sense, or pass us, especially in the NFC, which is even more important. The Chiefs get the 6 before the damn Niners get the 6 is my point.
I agree.
So this defeat also marked another heartbreaking loss for Kyle Shanahan, who's 0-3 in the Super Bowls. In addition to losing both Super Bowl matchups to the Chiefs, Shanahan was also part of the Atlanta Falcons play-calling team with Quinn, and they blew that game 28-3 in the fourth quarter against the Patriots in February of 2017. Of course, he lost the other two as the coach of the Niners, and then if you look at the other loss of the Niners in these last 29 years, it was against his brother. It was Jim Harbaugh, who's now at the Chargers, was coaching the Niners with Colin Kaepernick, and he lost to his brother John Harbaugh, the Ravens, and they won that Super Bowl with Flacco. So I just wanted to break that down. That is the Super Bowl recap. I really don't care much more about that, but baby, any thoughts on the Super Bowl? I gave you my thoughts, the breakdown, the game. Yeah. I'm glad, Kansas City won. No more Super Bowls for them. And definitely glad that, not that they won, I'm glad that the Niners lost. That puts a smile on my face.
That is
fuck
basically the number one thing there, right? Like, thank goodness the Niners lost. Excuse me. The one thing I will say, we've been chatting about it, we kind of said it here. I think Drums and Cowboys summed it up pretty succinctly and recently as well here. He said, MCW, watching that game made me realize how we lack that killer instinct, mastery of the clock, and offensive and defense that picks up the slack for each other. Cowboys are good, but we're not Super Bowl ready.
I agree. 100% agree.
It was watching football on a different level. A very defensive game, which obviously doesn't exactly make for the most exciting Super Bowl necessarily. But it does go to show you, like I said, what football looks like when you're playing against the best of the best. And we definitely saw the two best defenses in the NFL go up against each other, which, as much as Patrick Mahomes...
second and third best defense, I'll say. Okay. Yeah, but you know what I mean. I know what you mean. And the Ravens were the number one.
Okay, but they weren't in the Super Bowl, and that's my point. It just, what I'm trying to say is that those defenses ended up being the difference maker that truly got both of these teams to where they were. As much as Patrick Mahomes obviously had a big chunk to do with their success
and Reed
today,
as well,
and all those things. Like, I'm not taking away from that. I'm just trying to say that, man, I thought we had a Super Bowl like defense. You know what I mean? That's what I'm trying to say. There. Like, I thought we had some of these pieces that could play at that level. And it's not to say that some of them can't. It just really does go to show how much we have to go, I think, mentally as a team. You kind of said it. Like, from a talent perspective sense, we have a lot of those similar pieces, but I don't know if we mentally can hold up to even get to a Super Bowl.
And that's coaching. That's front office to get help for your coaches and your players. Clown show. Anyway.
Yeah, so outside of that, obviously, just really interesting to see some of the decisions taken. Really weirdly sloppy play from both teams in the sense of, like, a lot of really dumb penalties.
Yeah, and penalties
unnecessary penalties.
Yeah, but the Chiefs weren't called, I think, on defense till the end of that game.
True.
So they actually were decent on defense.
So more like a sloppy first half.
Yeah,
you could say.
Spagnuolo, which is the defensive coordinator for the Chiefs, has won 4 Super Bowls now, which is the most by a coordinator, I think, in the history of the NFL. No one's ever done that.
So, and let me kind of roll it back here. And yes, shout out to everybody here. Clark motherfucking Kent said Niners defense choked in the end. Yes. So, hey.
Great day for that, to see that happen at least.
Go ahead and join us here on this couch. Watch the Chiefs do their Super Bowl parade.
Yeah, now let's start turning it to NFL news and Cowboy news here. Specifically, we'll stay in the NFC East. So after this game and the Super Bowl ended, Fletcher Cox from the Eagles went all in, basically, on receiver. Yeah, on receiver from the Niners, Deebo Samuel. They were both ship talking. Basically, he tweeted out there, Instagram, Fletcher Cox said, quote, "This is to Deebo Samuel, quote, eat a dick. Keep the Eagles out your mouth, boy. I still got something you ain't got. Yeah, I've been holding on to this one. I've been holding this one in, son." So Fletcher Cox still got that Super Bowl that, Deebo doesn't have. So he was rubbing it into him today. I do want to make a mention on the defensive line for the Eagles. A little interesting little tidbit that kind of flew out under the radar. Eagles All-Pro edge rusher. We had problems with him. Number 7, Hassan Reddick.
Yeah.
Remember him? He gave us a lot of problems. He received permission today to seek a trade. Following another disruptive season. He had a great season. Double-digit sacks. He's 29 years old with 27 sacks over the last 2 years. He's trying to leave Philadelphia right now. So he's not happy there. Which, again, fuck Philly as far as I'm concerned. Now, we're going to take a look at our guys, right? We talk about a free agent like Hassan Reddick. We're not going to get him, but just an idea. What was said about our free agents? And I specifically I'm going to mention the guys on this front of our thumbnail today, on our cover story. I guess you get Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb. Both these guys were brought up today, pre-Super Bowl, about some contract situation here. So on the insiders on NFL Game Day, they were looking specifically in the beginning at quarterbacks that could be getting some money this year, be in the spotlight. Vikings free agent Kirk Cousins, Dolphins quarterback Tua Tagovailoa, and Cowboys quarterback Dak Prescott. And here's what was said by the insiders. They said, quote, "The expectation is that the Cowboys will do a deal in some form or some fashion with Dak Prescott before free agency."
Okay.
Which
makes sense.
He can essentially not be tagged after the season heading to the final year of his deal. So a deal basically must be done for Dallas, end quote. Now, I want to explain why. This is the all-in must-do. If the Cowboys are going all in, this is one of the things on my list that we have to do. You can restructure him and open up like $20 million, or you can extend him for a couple years, and you can open up $35 million. So, or up to that much. So, what are the Cowboys doing? Listen, why is it specifically happening before free agency? So we can sign some free agents. If you're going all in, that's what I'm trying to say. The Cowboys used to never get this done before free agency. They do it in the beginning of free agency or in the middle of free agency. They get the deal done. Well, you don't have that money anymore. Now they can use that to say, hey, we don't have the money. Now, they go into free agency, the cap all fucked up. They're going to be like, okay, we're not going to be able to make any free agent moves this year, so we got to extend Dak Prescott before March 15th or 17th. So, guys, you got your answer. It's not about if, it's about when. Jerry Jones is going to extend Dak Prescott, and it sounds like it's going to be sometime in about the next month or so. Just figure it like that. A month from now, Dak will be extended for a couple years, opening up a lot of space on the cap for this year, and that's the all-in. That's one of the first all-in steps we have to do. We got Zimmer, supposedly. We'll talk about that. And we got, coaching staff kind of getting completed here in the next couple of weeks. Then we have to figure out what we're going to do when it comes to the cap and the money and the re-signings of our own guys and the extensions of our current guys. So right now, guys, the Cowboys, Jerry Jones, Stephen Jones, Dak Prescott are all expected to have a deal done before the middle of March that will make Dak Prescott one of the highest paid quarterbacks in the NFL. Now, he has almost $60 million in a cap hit in 2024. And, of course, no tag and no trade clause for those that still don't know that. Let me just reiterate that. So he's stuck with, whether you like it or not, he's stuck here. $60 million, it can't stay that way. So we're going to extend him just before, in the next 3-4 weeks at most. the Cowboys are not going to go into free agency with this all-in attitude they supposedly are having in negative space with negative cap money. You can't go. You can't be serious about all-in if you're going to be $20 million over the cap, right? So they have to modify Dak's cap hit. They can restructure it first, and they can then extend them later, however they want to do it. But anyways, either way, it's going to be done, whether you like it or not. And I want to reiterate, I wish people would see this about quarterbacks. In the NFL, it is hard to win a Super Bowl. You got Brady. Now you have Mahomes. You have a lot of great quarterbacks with some great teams. And even great quarterbacks like Aaron Rodgers or Drew Brees, they won one. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it is hard to even get there. It's hard to even win one. It's hard to have a quarterback that you can say, hey, he's even a top 10 quarterback in the NFL.
Exactly.
Dak Prescott is that. So whatever it is, you like it or not, we're not going to just go get some guy and start over because you like this rookie who's going to be good in 4 years. Maybe. We got Dak, who's a top 10 quarterback every year. And this year, he was a top 5 quarterback, easily. Or even higher than that. To me, higher than that. But again, all these things are the way it's going to be. So if you guys are mad about this, I'm so sorry. We're gonna talk about cry equals cry then. If you're gonna cry about this, so again, guys, modifying his contract, whether it's a restructure, definitely an extension, expect it, guys, in less than a month. So any thoughts on that? Because again, you look at thoughts from other players in the league, like Steelers running back Najee Harris. He said Dak Prescott gets the most hate in the NFL. And he said it's because no matter what, they get 12 wins every year. They have a great offense. They do everything that he asks them to do. And it's not just on him. He's not playing defense. He made those comments, Najee Harris, and say Dak is the most scrutinized and hated player in the NFL. Then you look at the other side of things when it comes to Dak, and you got Larry Fitzgerald. Well, I love this guy. He's smart. He's a great guy in the community. But man, he might just put his foot in his mouth. He's starting the let's hate former players that hate Cowboys to get clicks and views. Larry Fitzgerald said this, quote, "The reason the Cowboys replaced Tony Romo is because Tony couldn't win the big games. And I'm starting to see the same trend with Dak." Come on now. Come on.
I mean,
that's so silly to say. I mean, the trend is because they just don't know how to win the big games. Romo was banged up and injured a lot of the times. All right. He won some big games. I think Dak also, it's not just on Dak Prescott, it's the coaching and the rest of the team. It's for Dak, that's the way it's always going to be. You put the right people around him. Look, even Purdy can get there. And Purdy cannot do it with a scheme quarterback for cheap. It doesn't work. Even with a great defense, it didn't work. It almost worked. But again, it's very difficult to do. So that's the way it kind of sits for me on there. So I'm sorry, Larry Fitzgerald. I don't see that the big game thing, yeah, you can see it happening. You got to get over the hump. We all agree on that. But he's saying it's the same thing that Romo had. And I think Romo could have done it if he had some help and some other ways from this fucking front office. You know what I mean? So it's just so silly. Speaking of the front office, and it's not just Dak Prescott we're talking about here. It's also CeeDee Lamb. You know who he was spotted with, baby? What? At the Super Bowl. CeeDee Lamb, he's been around interviews and stuff like that, like this. Owner, I'll say it right now in a minute here, because you got Jason Renfro dropping that 1-2, J. Lou. Woo! Dollar holler right there. Appreciate you, Jason Renfro in the house. What did the man say?
Last time we won a Super Bowl, Mike Zimmer was our defensive coordinator.
That's very true. That is very true.
Hey.
Maybe that's good luck for us.
You never know.
We can only fucking hope, right? I hope so, Jason. Appreciate you. JD from DC got that Jason Witten, 82 points on the stream, boss. Now, in Vegas at the Super Bowl, who was hanging out together? CeeDee Lamb, CeeDee Lamb's agent, Tory Dandy, and another person was hanging out with CeeDee Lamb and his agent.
Who?
Jerry Jones.
Oh.
Yeah.
What a surprise.
So,
I wonder why.
Listen, we heard this week, right now we just heard about Dak's contract, right? We heard earlier this week on Micah Parsons' radio show, or a Micah Parsons interview, that he was, they're talking about Micah's contract. Micah's like, well, CeeDee's got to go first. CeeDee Lamb was on Micah's show and said, listen, I'm not going to talk numbers right now. We'll get something worked out, right? But basically, Micah Parsons knows that Jerry Jones' priority right now is not Micah Parsons. It's getting a deal done with CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah.
So we just saw CeeDee Lamb, his agent, and Jerry Jones together in Vegas talking. Is it a coincidence? Or are they working on a deal going forward? I think a deal is being worked on. So that's why in the title, Dak and CeeDee Lamb extension, you better fucking believe it. I do believe it's coming, and that's just a little more proof for CeeDee Lamb. Again, if we extend CeeDee Lamb, I don't know the numbers at the end. I don't even care that much right now. I'm worried. I'm holding the all-in label over Jerry Jones's head. Stephen Jones didn't say that, even though he's running the show more. Jerry Jones said it.
Yeah, but it was Jerry.
So I'm holding Jerry to that. Feet to the fire. So what I'm saying is we're going all in. We're hearing Dak Prescott. It's going to open up money with a slight extension. You know, if we extend CeeDee Lamb, guys, we get him. He even pays $30 million a year. This year he'll go from $18 million on the cap to under $8 million. So we'll get over $10 million on the cap along with Dak's moves. When if you extend him, now you're going to have what? 30, 35, 45 million plus, and we're over 20 right now. You do those two moves, guys. Well, we're under 25 million on the cap without making any cuts on Gallup, another 10 million, or DeMarcus Lawrence if you wanted to, another 10 million, or Brandon Cooks, another 8 million. You got a 5 million between Cooper Rush and LVE. I'm just saying, guys, you got a lot of guys you can cut, or I'm not saying you cut them all, but you cut a couple guys here. Restructure some contracts like the offensive line guys, Tyron Smith, Terrence Steele, Zach Martin. You restructure those guys. And then you extend CeeDee Lamb. Micah doesn't hit anything on the cap if you extend him this year. And Dak Prescott. You get more money back from Dak and CeeDee Lamb on the cap. So you'll have $60 million open on the cap. Then you use that money to go all in free agency. That's holding these guys' feet to the fire. So it sounds like, being in Vegas there with CeeDee Lamb, it sounds like Jerry Jones is ready to make a deal with old CeeDee Lamb here going forward. And let's see if it's him, Justin Jefferson. They're both going to be looking to make deals this year. And then, of course, extending Dak Prescott. The other big deal needs to be done so we can get more money open for free agency for a lot of free agents on other teams. But also, what about our own free agents? And let me just say one name in particular who we spoke about earlier. He spoke with Brandon Cooks, a guy who can save money here. We don't have this guy in a contract, Stefon Gilmore. And even though I've talked about Jalen Johnson from the Bears, which would be very expensive to get signed him $15 million, $16 million a year, Stefon Gilmore will be a lot cheaper than that. And he got that surgery. He'll be back in training camp. But here's some reasons I think it's a good idea for us to maybe look at re-signing someone like Stefon Gilmore. All right? Availability and reliability. Stefon Gilmore was on the field for all 18 games this year. He was the only player to take all 622 snaps in coverage. The only guy on our team. So, Stefon Gilmore, Iron Man in that sense. Now, does that mean he might not have it next year? That could be an issue next year because he played so much this year. But again, he also brings very important factor to our young guys, even Trayvon Diggs and guys like DaRon Bland, continued leadership. Trayvon Diggs, Bland spoke very highly of Stefon Gilmore's leadership in the locker room and helped improve their game, according to both those guys. So, great. That's a great reason to keep him around. You also relaxed the timeline for Trayvon Diggs. When you talk about that, you've had Diggs with Gilmore's return to the outside, eases the pressure of Trayvon Diggs returning right away from this serious ACL tear of last year. People already know how good the combination of Gilly, the Gilly lock there of Stefon Gilmore and DaRon Bland together. We've seen them kind of work well enough, right? We know they work together well, so that can continue if Trayvon Diggs is delayed. It's a win-win for Stefon Gilmore. Has the best rehab team in the league with the Cowboys, with Britt Brown and the Cowboys staff. So keeping continuity with that shoulder rehab could keep his recovery timeline intact and maybe even ahead of schedule. Plus his price tag. I got to say, this is the business side of football, right? Could be more favorable because of the injury. I've made this comment before. And being an older player, for the Cowboy front office. Yeah. So all these things goes to maybe a $6 million, $7 million deal with incentives, for a top cornerback still in the league. So to me, is an option still on the table. Like I said, if you can't draft the guy, you're not going to pick up a better guy, then this is your guy. Also, a no-brainer in a way with the reunion with Gilmore in Dallas, if that's what the Cowboys want. It also keeps them from moving down the road, moving down the road of an all-in for 2024. So we don't have to worry about, he's a one-year deal guy. We don't have to worry about killing the cap with him in the future. He could be one of these, we save money on the cap money, put it in this year, and Gilmore is one of those guys. So just an idea. The last thing I'm going to say is this, kind of leading us to the end of the show tonight. We hope you guys enjoyed it. Super Bowl special, no matter what, it's still about the Cowboys. That's what it is about to me. So, it is this guy that you see right behind him. you got to remember, guys, you have someone like Stefon Gilmore he has, again, veteran success. We've seen it throughout the league when it comes to this guy, our defensive coordinator, Mike Zimmer. A lot of veterans have huge success in his schemes. Over and over again, it's shown. The Cowboys' new defensive coordinator, and again, I'll explain about his contract in a minute for Zimmer, but Zimmer has a proven track record of putting aging corners in the best position for success. Patrick Peterson, he did that with it in Minnesota. Terrence Newman, former Cowboy, did that with the Bengals and helped them out. Be one of the better corners, even with the age side of things. So Zimmer can make your veterans better, and kind of knows where to get the most out of them. And Zimmer, we asked this yesterday on the show, baby. How satisfied are you with the Cowboys signing of Mike Zimmer as a defensive coordinator for the Cowboys, or as our defensive coordinator? And for 77 votes, the family here said good. That's the second option, second best option. 53% of you guys said good. 36% said great. So actually, you look at this, guys, we're at like 90% here. 89% of the family said this Mike Zimmer hire is either good or great. 7% didn't like it. It was like the third option there. And 2% hated it. Very few people hated this move. So for Cowboy family, for us, and the Cowboy fans, it's crazy that, this is actually kind of everybody agrees is a good move. The Cowboys have hired Zimmer as their new coordinator, right? Defensive coordinator. But, here's the big but. And it's coming from a big but.
Where's the big but?
Here's a big but. Adam Scheffler said this. Somebody else with a big but said, I don't believe it. I'll explain in a minute. Mary Alvarez in the house.
Thank you so much, Mary. I appreciate
she's dropping that 5 on it.
Do you know what she said?
Hit me with it, baby. I want to hear what Mary had to say. Mary, what did you say?
Hello. I hope everyone's doing great.
Yes, much love,
God
Mary.
bless you all. Didn't watch the Super Bowl, but I heard that the 49ers lost.
They blew it, yes.
Awesome. Yes, they did.
Love that here at the Cowboy family. Still haven't seen A-Bomb. He said he'd be back. I guess he didn't like the bomb that was put on that screen when they blew that game. I love it. I love it.
I'm going to assume he did not.
And again, much love to Mary Alvarez, star level member. Shouted her out earlier in the week in the star level up the board. Appreciate you and everybody else who dropped the love, supports the channel, drops the knowledge. Go Cowboys. You know how it goes. So, by the way, that also puts JD from DC, one of the restructured players in our team. If we sign him, like Tyron Smith, if we re-sign him, I guess we can't restructure him. But, hey, he's a guy that we may have to look at. He's a free agent right now with number 77, Tyron Smith. That's how many points JD from DC has currently on that board. So the point here I'm trying to say, baby, if you look at our cover here, you're seeing, there's Zimmer with the question mark, but then you got a guy, why is there a question mark? Well, something that Rex Ryan, commentator on ESPN, said, and, he was on, I think it was on ESPN or NFL. I think it was ESPN. I don't know, ESPN or NFL network. The point is, Rex Ryan, after Adam Scheffler's comment was said, and reiterated, and we all got the information from a lot of different sources, but Adam Scheffler is the guy who reported this already. The Cowboys are hiring him, even though the paperwork is not set yet. Rex Ryan today, who interviewed for the Cowboys defensive coordinator job, disputes Adam Scheffler's report and says, hey, I don't believe that Mike Zimmer is there. He said it's not a fact right now that Zimmer is going to be our defensive coordinator. And listen, I want you to, I know you have the quotes here, baby. He also revealed how he contacted Mike McCarthy regarding his interest in becoming the Cowboys defensive coordinator. And he says that he doesn't believe that Mike Zimmer currently has the job yet. And officially he doesn't, guys, because, again, it's been very quiet right now. Currently very quiet for the Cowboys and their home base as the NFL today, is focusing on the Super Bowl and the Super Bowl teams. No official announcement yet of Mike Zimmer's hiring since it was close on Thursday. It was announced on Thursday. It's a little bit puzzling, I will say. I just don't buy the Rex Ryan kind of, I'm thinking he's someone trying to, I don't know, maybe he's desperate or he's maybe delusional. I don't know. But, baby, why don't you tell us what went down when it comes to Rex Ryan on ESPN? Well, I don't know if he was on ESPN. He was on some show. Rex Ryan disputes ESPN's report that the Cowboys are hiring Mike Zimmer as defensive coordinator.
Yeah, I think he spoke with CBS Sports.
Okay, that's what it was. It was at the Super Bowl today. So you're right. It was CBS Sports. That's what he works for. And, What did he say about this ESPN report from Adam Schefter that Mike Zimmer was hired? He's the Cowboys. He's going to be the Cowboys defensive coordinator.
First off, I'm not so sure Zimmer has that job right now. I'm not sure about that. I can honestly say I don't believe that's a fact right now.
And again, to me, very unusual for a studio show, to kind of have anyone kind of, I would say on the same page when it comes to something like this. But it gets worked out ahead of time when you with these deals with these defensive coordinators. So Rex Ryan just seems to me a little bit, I don't say delusional, but maybe in denial. Maybe that'd be a good thing there.
Maybe he really does know something the rest of us
I don't know, but
just
again, I think he's basically in the media. This Rex Ryan is crapping on a known Adam Schefter guy, on his report, and supposedly he knew what Schefter was going to say before he reported it. Either way, Rex Ryan is still holding out hope for this job. And he was talked about.
You're saying there's a chance.
Exactly. It's like freaking Dumb and Dumber. Rex Ryan on ESPN on Super Bowl Sunday said, and I think it was on CBS or ESPN. But the point is, he talked about the Cowboys today and his reported interest in the defensive coordinator position. After he said that, he don't believe he said it's not a fact yet that even Adam Schefter's report that Zimmer is not the Cowboys. He's still not the Cowboys defensive coordinator. What did he say about his interest? Rex Ryan's interest in the defensive coordinator position.
I will say this. The reason I've been out for 7 years. I've never called another head coach or anything like that. I called Mike McCarthy. And the reason I did is because I want to be on this stage. I want to be back on this stage. If I'm going to get back into coaching, have a chance at that. I think with this roster, the way it is, I think offensively, special teams and defense, I figured I could maybe make even a little bit of an upgrade, that they could be right here.
In the Super Bowl, yeah.
That's why I was interested. It's funny how, should we get no. Your team has no chance at me. That's generally the case. I would only go at the right situation. And if it's not completely right, then I'm not going. But this team, it is interesting. Because they are so close to getting over that edge, and that's why I think people would be interested in the job.
And again, it's also a great way of using the star to promote yourself going forward back into the NFL. I don't trust Rex Ryan.
His line there about he wants to be on that stage, that's...
Yeah, the Super Bowl stage, I think he means, the football stage.
I get it, but I took it more as, on that Cowboy stage. Oh, you want to be on this spotlight.
And be seen.
With us.
Using the star for 1 year and then moving on to being, going back into football.
I'll admit, maybe I'm just, extra sensitive to comments like that because of our general cowboy chicanery. But it's something about that did just kind of rub me the wrong way just a little bit.
No, he seems to be a hater. Rex Ryan, I think he's just a sore loser. He lost the position to, begging for the job.
Rex is salty.
Yeah, he's begging for the job. Kind of got denied. After his interview the next day, they hired Zimmer. It's all right, who's fucking me over here? I just think that it's funny how the media people are bashing each other.
Right.
At the same time, though, I gotta say that it is strange for a guy like Adam Schefter to be kind of put down by Rex Ryan after he himself interviewed for the job and is now salty about it after not getting it. So, hey, I hope it's not Rex Ryan. All sources point to, of course, Zimmer, and that should happen probably. It's probably happened because Jerry Jones in Vegas, and they want to make it a hoopla thing. When they announce it, you know what they're gonna do. I'm telling you what's gonna happen. I'll try to be there for it. If not, we'll do it at night. But they're gonna interview. They're gonna have a press conference for Mike Zimmer. This is what happens in Dallas. Mike Zimmer knows what's coming here. He's been in Dallas before.
True.
The Cowboys they're not going to announce the hire today and have a press conference. I guess they could announce it today and have a press conference tomorrow. I expect it more to be announced tomorrow officially and signed, ink to paper, pen to paper. Yeah. And then Tuesday, he's speaking with the media. Expect that shit. Watch.
That does seem the more likely scenario, right?
Yeah. Yeah, because we got to stop people from, like Rex Ryan, stop the humiliation of begging on fucking TV, national TV. Desperately want to be in the NFL again, using the star to get back up there. We know what he's trying to do.
Yeah,
so,
not anything new, right? Begging on national TV, right?
Yeah,
Chris?
exactly,
The drama
Chris.
continues even after the season's over, said Mike Aldana. Lost in Transition said Zimmer is better. Agreed, personally. I
Better than Rex
do
Ryan?
think
Hell
Zimmer
yeah.
is better than Rex Ryan.
Hell yeah,
He kind of said himself, he's been out of the game for 7 years. Like, what exactly are you bringing to the table here, right?
Mean, much love, by the way. I know what Jason Renfro is bringing to the table. He's bringing that J-Lou $2 holler. What did the man say?
What a choke job by the 49ers.
Love it. Love
Go
it.
Cowboys.
You know it.
And honestly, what a good feeling.
I mean, again, we want to be us, right? But if we can't be us and the Niners are going to get 6, this is a good feeling. Mm-hmm. Agree.
So, really can't ask for more there in that regard, at least. You know what I mean?
What we had in front of us, right? It's either the Chiefs or the Niners. Let it not be the Niners. Let's just hope it's not the Niners. And it wasn't.
Agree.
They made our night. They made our season just a little bit less worse. You know, that's not better, but less worse. Mm-hmm. We'll take that here for Cowboy Family, because right now that's all we got. We got to earn something. It's been 28 years plus for us. It's been 29 years plus for the Niners. Fuck the Niners. Fuck the Eagles, and go Cowboys. Hit up some last comments in the chat.
Let me go ahead and kind of, keep hitting up the chat, and I guess that
wrapping
brings
it
us
up,
to the end here, guys. Again, our little Super Bowl wrap-up stream. Feeling a little sad, though. That does mean the NFL season is over for this year.
That is the shitty part, although I'm ready to get out to the offseason, baby. I'm ready to see the Cowboys, how we're going to make moves.
It's been our offseason for long enough for us to be used to it, so. Anyway. And keep him in the chat, right? Fuego said, that begging shit gotta go. He lost all credibility after that with his desperate ass.
Ugly, yeah. Ugly.
Oh, let me see here. Going back here, Mike Aldana said, funny, we have 2 former coaches fighting for a 1-year deal with the Dallas Cowboys.
You know why? It puts you on the center stage. We got good players already. I mean, Rex Ryan kind of said it. We've got all the players. We got, you add a couple little pieces here. You might be able to coach them up. And then you look good for another year when you probably want to stab McCarthy in the back, so you can maybe either listen, if McCarthy does great, then he will be even better. It'd be better for Rex Ryan or Mike Zimmer and their abilities and what they're doing in Dallas. To try to bounce it off and get more known, kind of what Quinn did. But Rex Ryan is really groveling right now and really sounds in denial, desperate. It's embarrassing. It's cringy.
I'm cracking up a little bit here because Frame Ripper's, his version of what he thinks Jerry's All In means some kind of stadium experience upgrade or some new training equipment.
Exactly.
Extra large umbrellas in case the 70-degree sun from Oxnard might hurt their skin.
I'm fucking telling you. I love science. I do. We trust in science here. But that's going to be Jerry's like, we got a newfangled whatever, and we upgraded the the air conditioning for the stadium while the players we're gonna trick the fan base and say we can't too much, not enough pie to go around. We can't go all in. We
installed popcorn buckets in every seat. Anyway, Chris Davis is asking as far as and I think this is a good point. I know I mentioned it earlier in the chat, but he said, would you keep Gilmore? I know you touched on it a little bit personally. We can bring him back on a relatively cheapish deal. I'm all about it. I would actually like to see him come back, especially considering that Trayvon, fingers crossed, is going to be back next year. So I think that, adding that Trayvon factor is one of the reasons I'm comfortable bringing back Gilmore in a, role.
Yeah, a 1-year deal for someone like Stefon Gilmore. I just went through it a minute ago. If the Cowboys are not going to go big, meaning, let's just say it 2 different ways, drafting a cornerback in the first round, or getting a top free agent cornerback like Jalen Johnson from the Bears. If the Cowboys are not going to do that, this is your next best option. They knows the team. He knows the players. He'll be gotten for cheaper, which is obviously, you can then spend more money on another guy in the team. Even though we're getting a solid corner. We got our 3 solid corners again. And we can then, also not, instead of spending $15 million, we could spend $7 million. And we have $8 million now to throw at another player or 2. You guys feel me on this? So, that's the way I would see it, as an all-in kind of thing. You make some room. You give them $7 million, maybe $6 million with like $2 million in incentives, something like this,
By the way, Ramona and Carolina, not sure, one or the other, but he said, how about them Cowboys 49ers losing made this such a good weekend.
It made it that
was a cherry on top of the Super Bowl experience. Which, by the way, since we're talking Super Bowl experiences here, I think a great way to kind of end things tonight is, what did you guys eat?
What did you guys all do? Because
right?
we had our own little thing. We didn't go. We usually go live.
Yes.
Much love to Zimmer, by the way. We'll see the final. Hopefully this final announcement of him officially being a Cowboy defensive coordinator tomorrow or Tuesday. But yeah, guys, we usually go live.
Family oriented. Yeah.
7 straight years of going live this year. On My Cowboys Family as for Super Bowls. But the one thing this time, guys, we had family. We had more of a family atmosphere situation. So we just said, you know what? It's not the Cowboys. So we're gonna enjoy the game like a fan, like the usual normal fans do,
Yes.
and we're gonna talk about the game afterwards, as well as all our Cowboy stuff. Which, of course, I'm glad we did because we got a little more information at the end of the night after the Super Bowl in regards to the Cowboys. So it's good to be able to discuss this now after everything, the post Super Bowl recap, wrap up, not just for the Super Bowl, but for the Cowboys, and this week as well. So hell yeah, and let me also shout out those, if you don't mind, baby. I don't know if you want to do the shout outs yet,
but do the shout outs
do the shout outs
in the chat. Of course, before I do that, I have to shout out the sponsor of the week one last time.
Looks like we're going to be
crowning some champions,
passing some torches here, yeah. So passing the baton. So baby, sponsor of the week,
Stanley Smith. Thank you so much, Stanley. Appreciate you representing on two facets of the board there as the Cash App King as well.
Yes.
And I believe both crowns are going to be passed off.
Yeah,
sure.
We're going to explain that in a minute. We got JD from DC. He's got 75, but he's staying right there. 75 points on the Stream Boss. And when it comes to the gifting board, much love to Jason Renfro. He's the gifting champion last week when it comes to membership gifting. He dropped one this week as well, but the man who jumped him, JD from DC, like the Chiefs, 3 out of 4 championships for him in the last month. So JD from DC is our gifting champion and also the current Stream Boss and also the new sponsor of the week. Drum roll, please. The great JD from DC, repping that star in enemy territory. At the bottom of the screen, Stanley Smith is there. Tomorrow, it'll be JD from DC repping it. Appreciate you, JD from DC. Gifting board, overall board, the Stream Boss, the takeover. Appreciate you, man. Always repping that star for everything. And then Stanley Smith, he's still got that crown, the Cash App, but who has taken over that? Well, you guys might love who I might be saying here. McLovin has taken over the kingdom of the Cash App. We got our new Cash App King, and his name is McLovin. So appreciate you as well. Everybody in the house who has dropped the love this week, showed us any kind of support anyway, even on the After Dark sessions, which again, there might be an MCF After Dark tonight, a little, I guess, end of the football season celebration, maybe. I don't know. We'll see how I feel. But check us out there if you'd like. You got to find that stream on your own. You got to find that channel on your own. MCF After Dark. So, baby, let's do the shout-outs to everybody in the house.
Of course.
As we're closing out another week and closing out another NFL season here. Not just in the NFL, but at my Cowboys family.
That's right.
8th season.
Thank you, Mary Alvarez, Ramon and Carolina, Fuego, Mike Aldana, Leslie Williams, Chris Davis, Jason Renfro, Lost in Translation Podcast. We have, Fuego, Cleveland Brown, Frame Rippers, even you real shit. Rolling back here. We have Drums and Cowboys, Pioneer. Let me see, James Miles, Skeptical Fan, Ready Red, Alonda Hanslu, Clark motherfucking Kent. Let me see, Texas Cat, Juan Carlos, Redman R, Asmodeus, number 2 with fries, JD from DC, Raul, House Nelson in the house, Joe Diskin, Drums and Cowboys, Calvin Richards, Pioneer, Dwayne Broussard, Alonda Hanslu, Mater 97, Bruce got the Toxic Juice, Darius Davis. Yeah, it's as far back as I can go. Dwayne Broussard, Top Dog, of course. And yes, it is. So with that said, guys, again, thank you so much for everybody here chilling, joining us.
Yes. And, of course, shouting out those that dropped the love from above last night, tonight. Appreciate you all, McLovin and the PayPal. We got Dwayne Broussard dropping the Dak drop. We got Alonda Hanslu in the house. We got Calvin Richard, Jason Renfro, Mary Alvarez dropping the love from above. And then, last but never least, you know who it is. The man with the takeover, JD from DC, who also dropped some love today. Enough to secure the gifting championship. The Extreme Boss with 75 points, and the sponsor of the week starting tomorrow. So thank you. Thank all of you guys for doing your thing here, especially those that dropped the love tonight, the whole week, the month, the year. We're up to almost 7 years here in MCF. This would be our 7th football season, I think we've done. And our seventh, I guess, post-Super Bowl discussion. So I hope you guys enjoying the channel. Keep growing it, 31.1 and beyond. Subscribers, family members, I appreciate every single one of you guys as we close out another season. Start off, our off season already started, but the whole NFL off season, to me, in my mind now, it definitely starts tomorrow. It really truly starts the middle of March when free agency opens up. But we got a lot to do before then. In the next 5 weeks, extensions, figuring out some coaching positions here, not just Zimmer, but his coaches, that where everyone's going to move to, what the plan's going forward into the season, and then who we're going to keep, who we're re-signing. And free agency time, guys. We move cap money around, restructure contracts, extend players, sign players on our own team, and then do the free agency thing. Let's see if it's really going to be all in. I don't believe it till I see it. Baby, on that note, why don't you let everybody know why we do this thing here every single night on My Cowboys Family?
It's that navy blue, that silver too, and that star over everything.
Win, lose, or draw, good, bad, or ugly, here on this channel, we always rep that star over everything. Here on My Cowboys Family for over 6.5 years and beyond. Never forget the number one thing here, now, and forever. As always, go Cowboys. Fuck the Niners. They didn't get their sixth. 5 still equals 5. But let's us get that 6 before the Niners and anyone else. Let's get that 6 and beyond. Sooner than later. All in. Go all in. Stop fucking around, Jerry. Thank you all for not fucking around in the chat and letting us know how you feel, dropping your knowledge all night long. Cannot do this without your discussions. Also, truly appreciate the love from above, the support, guys. Cannot do this 5, 6, 7 nights a week without your love and support. 6.5 plus years here on MCF. As we relock and reload and drop out and clock out for the night. We'll be back relocked and reloaded for the offseason tomorrow. A new week here on MCF. But, baby, before we can get it all done, before we can drop out of here for the night, what do we got to do?
We got to drop the beat.
Oh, yeah. And as we drop the beat, we drop the season. It's over. Season's done. Niners are second. It don't matter. No one cares about that. Second's only good in what? Horseshoes and the hand grenades. You just got to get close. So they didn't get close enough. And the Chiefs, congratulations to the Kansas City Chiefs for being Super Bowl champions. And thank you for keeping the Niners at 5. Not passing the Cowboys in the NFC with 6. That's big. That's a big win today. And in that sense, the best we could have asked for given the situation. Guys, thank you once again for rocking with us and wrapping up a whole football season, a whole week, right here with us on My Cowboys Family for another Cowboys chat. Yes. In the books, in the house, it's done. Season done. Post-Super Bowl recap done. Coaching questions still on the horizon. Extension questions still on the horizon. Moving money around for some cap space and maybe some free agent all-in moves. We shall see, Jerry. Here in MCF, we're never stopping. It's always about that navy blue, that silver too, and that star over everything. Never, ever, ever forget the number one thing right here on My Cowboys Family. Much love to everyone who's been with us for a day, a week, a month, 6 years. Appreciate you all, guys. Hit that like button for the stream. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Keep it growing. Hit that notification bell. Put it to all videos so you know when we're going live. And also follow us on Twitter, X, all social media at My Cowboys Family. Jump in the Discord, on and on. It's all in the chat. It's all in the description down below. Appreciate you guys. Have a great night. See you tomorrow. Stay safe. Peace. And never, ever forget, fuck the Niners. And go Cowboys.